Okay, so we're going to go through it. Your work today will be to go through a note. Then you're going to have two worksheets to kind of work your way through. Okay, so everyone locate this note, which should be the very first page of your package. Okay, so we'll go through this note. We'll do collecting like terms, which we kind of touched on yesterday. But since I'm not there today, we're going to have a traditional lesson. So, collecting like terms. So if terms have the same blank and blank, they are like terms. So that is the same variable and the same exponent. Okay, and we didn't really go over this. So a variable is a letter. So it could be X or Y or A or B. So if I had the term like 2X, that means the X is the variable in that case. Okay, and my exponent is going to be the number that is up top here on the variable. So a squared would be an exponent, right? If I have something like 3x, there's actually an exponent up there, but the exponent is a 1. But we just don't write it because we're just efficient along those lines. So it's just the 1 up there. So we have to have the same exponent. If it's we're not going to write anything up there because we never do. But just be aware that there is a 1 up there. Okay, and something like let me think here, like y squared, anything like that. So it needs the same variable, the letter, and the same exponent. These two here would not be like terms. They have the same variable, but they don't have the same exponent. If I change this to look like such, it would have the same exponent. Okay. We collect like terms by adding or subtracting the coefficient. Coefficient. How did I do? Horribly. Okay. So, in that case, if I had two like terms, let's say I had 3x plus 4x. By adding or subtracting the coefficient is just a number in front. Okay, so that would be 7x, because I'm going to add 3 and 4. All right, so there's my note here. Same variable, same exponent. Then I'm going to add or subtract the coefficient. So let's do some here. Now, usually when you get a question like this, what I like to do is you group your like terms. So let's take a peek. And I like to highlight just on this. Let's figure out what's like. So I'll let you take a peek at it first and figure out if you can see what's like. And this one's quite obvious. So in this one here is like, and this here is like. Now you have to take not just the what's written here. You take the plus or minus that's in front as you highlight these. Here and here. Okay? So then we can rewrite it. This equation be 6a, well, I'm going to move it over here just so I can see what's going on. 6a minus 3a plus 2b plus 7b. And then, I wrote an x. Then here, I'm going to put it together. So it comes 6 minus 3 is 3a, and that's going to be plus 9b. So there's my answer there. I collected my like terms. So I put my a's together, I put my b's together, and then I combine them. So I went 6 minus 3. Now the a's don't move, like they're solid. They stay the same. Since I have think about it, if I have 6 apples and I take away 3 apples, I don't have like 3 apples squared or something like that. I just have 3 apples. There's like 2 bananas and 7 bananas. I add those together, I get 9 bananas. But the variable stays the same when you're collecting like terms. It's not going to become a square. Like adding 2b and 7b together doesn't get me 2b squared. It's just, 2b and 7b doesn't give me 9b squared. It just gives me 9b. Now let's do this one here. And usually when I do this, since you guys don't have, like, well, some of you have those big crazy pencil cases in front of you, you won't have these colors. So let's do it as if I had like a pen or a pencil. So what I like to do is like variable and exponent. So my variable here terms. So this would turn into, if I group them all together, 7m minus 2m minus 6n plus 2 plus 5. Then we go through, we do our math. We're going to combine these two together because they have the same variable and coefficient. Oh, sorry, the same variable and exponent. So that's going to equal 5m. There's only one n here, so it's just going to stay the same. And lastly, I have plus 7. There's my answer, right? Now here's a fun one. So let's go back to my pencil, just like I'm one of you guys. And then I'm going to go back to my markers because they're more fun. Same variable and exponent. So I'm going to underline all my ones are x squared. So there's x squared. That's just an x, so I'm not going to underline that. Oh, here's one. I have nothing else. Then I'm going to switch to blue. Here's my x's. There's my x. And make sure you can see I'm including the sign in front. Let's go green here. So then we can write it out again, being 6x squared. Oh, I hate doing squares in this thing. 6x squared minus 4x squared minus x plus 8x plus 3 minus 9. Okay. So if I were to look at this here, my combining is these two sets together, then these two sets together, then these two together. So we end up with end up with 2x squared and that's going to be plus 7x minus 6. Okay. I'm going to give you 30 seconds or so, and I'm going to let you try this one here to get started. Then I'm going to watch my basketball game, which I have on beside me on my computer, which the current score is 81-70. So you guys try to group it and try to put everything together for me. So I've given you a little bit of time to get ahead. So let me do my grouping here. So this one's hard. 7p squared cubed. So let's highlight that. Do I have any p squares cubed? Oh, so p squared cubed right there. Then pq squared is going to be this one. Oh, I made a mistake. I gotta make sure I highlight that sign as well. Now, I can, if I can visualize it, I can add these without this middle step. Although the middle step really helps. If you like the middle step, go ahead and do the middle step. Right? So, let's do it the old-fashioned way here. So I can have 7p squared q. Copy this. Plus 11 p squared cubed. Oh, what the heck? That didn't copy. Copy. Good. Then my next one is plus. I'm just going to do this. There we go. me copy this again. Minus 4, away we go then. Okay, then I'm going to combine these again. So I have this put together. Oh, there's my draw. I'm going to combine these two together. And I combine these two together. Okay, so that ends up with 18 PQP squared Q plus, I'm not going to go, notice I wasn't going to do this, that's ugly. So I'm just going to go here, and then it's PQ squared. And I forgot the number that should go in front of there, so let's go back and put a 3. Away we go. That's the answer there. Now this one, we have to do what we talked about yesterday, which was rainbowing. If we remember here, if there's nothing out there, there's actually a 1. Right? So if there's a plus 1 in there, we're going to rainbow it in, but nothing changes in the bracket. Timesing something by 1 just keeps it all the same. So we get rid of those brackets, nothing is going to change. So it's going to be 3h, 3h plus 5 minus h plus 7. Oops, plus 7. Then I'm going to combine. Now, we're going to get a little more advanced here. Okay, and all I'm going to do is highlight what's common between them. We're going to identify our like terms. And we're going to skip that middle step there now. If you want to do this step, by all means do it. Okay? But it's not 100% necessary. If you can see 3h minus h is going to equal 2h, and 5 plus 7 is going to equal 12, you can skip ahead and do that part. Okay? So let's do this one here now. Now what's in front of these two brackets? I'll give you a chance to catch up. It's 81-72 now, by the way, in my basketball game. So, what's in front of these ones? What's in front of these ones, there's nothing there, so it's a 1. There's a plus, but nothing here, so it's going to be a 1. So since it's a positive 1, nothing changes in the brackets. Okay? So then, our next line is going to be, I hate x squared. There we go. Now I shouldn't have to do that again. Cool. So, 3x squared plus 8x minus 5 plus 3x squared minus x minus 2. Okay, remember, we can almost write a 1 in front of there. It's just an x, it's a 1. Right? So then, let's identify what's common. Let's highlight it here. Here's my x squares. Get those signs that are in front. Don't forget about them. Boom, boom, and boom, and boom. Okay. Then let's take a look. What do we have to combine? Let's combine our pink. We have 3x squared plus 3x squared. So that's going to equal 6x squared. Okay. We have 8x minus x, or minus 1x, so that's going to be plus 7x. We have negative 5, negative 2. Two negatives coming together equals more negatives. So it'll be minus 7. Okay. It's not multiplying, you're just adding it. So let's do this one here. So simplify the extraction, subtraction between the brackets. So if you remember, there's 1s here. Now, positive 1 outside of here, so nothing's going to change. Let's try this. The 5 plus 4. Right? Now there's a negative here. So when there's a negative in, we're going to rainbow it in. Because we're timesing -1 through there, everything's going to just switch signs. So negative times a positive is a negative. Right? A negative times a negative turns into a positive. Now let's look at our like terms here. Boom, boom, and boom, boom. Let's work out our math. I'm going to get a little thinner. So 2b minus 3b is negative 1b5. Our other combined is 4 plus 5. So it looks just like that. So there's our answer. Next up, we're going to go here. So remember, there's positive 1 out here and negative 1. So if it's positive 1, nothing changes. So we're going to be with 3x squared plus 6x, that's a 6, not a b, minus 9. Now here, I have a negative, so we're going to move it in, but everything's going to change signs. Because a negative times a negative is a positive. A negative times a positive would turn it to a negative, so it's just going to switch signs. Negative times a negative is a positive. Then, let's look at our combined here. Boom, boom. A little pink for this one. Make sure you catch those signs in front. It's very important. Go green last one. So then, negative 3x squared plus 2x. If negative 3 plus 2x doesn't make any sense, turn it around and think of it as 2 minus 3. So that's going to be negative 1, which we can just write like this. 6x minus 3x. 6 minus 3. And you can just work with the coefficients, the numbers in front, because the x's aren't going to change. That's going to be plus 3x. Then negative 9 plus 7. The 7 minus 9 is going to be minus 2. Okay? I'm going to give you a minute or two to work through this one. And don't look up at the board right now because I'm going to be looking at your homework. So I explain what you're doing with your homework, you'll know what's going on. Alright, so let's look at this one here. So, same thing, 1 in front of here, 1 in front of here. Positive 1, nothing changes. So we got 3x cubed minus 4x squared plus 2x minus 8. Now this is negative, so as I go in, everything's going to change signs. So we have minus x squared plus 3x minus 2. So let's get our highlighter out. Let's highlight everything, same variable, same coefficient. So I have x cubed. Do I have any other x cubes? No. So let's change. Now I have x squared. Do I have any other x squared? Oh, there's one. No. Now I have an x. Do I have any other x's? Yep, there's one here. Now I'm going to go on to this one. So I have two of these. Minus 4x minus, let's look back, 5x squared, and 2 and 3, positive 2, positive 3, it's going to be plus 5x, and negative 8 minus 2, negative 10. Now I can't go any further here because they all have different variables, right? This one having a variable of 3 exponent of, variable x exponent 3, variable x exponent 2, variable x exponent 1, and then no variable. So I'm all done. And a lot of times we get questions like how I'm supposed to solve it, but there's no equal sign here. And we're just simplifying. Okay, we're bringing it all together. So that's the lesson for today. It's not as fun as yesterday's lesson, but here's your homework. You're going to get, where did you go? You're going to get 2 pages to start. Okay? This page here, I want you to do this top part and this part here. And then this page here. So you're going to simplify this one. So let's look at here. This would end up being 3 minus 2m. So I'm going to go down here and look for 3m squared minus 2m. Oh, that's the first one. Then in box 1, I'm going to put an I. I'm going to write I right here. Right there. Then, for number 2, I'm going to combine these two. And whatever that number is down here, I'm going to write the letter that corresponds to it. So let's say this one here ends up being 4n here. So I'd put a D. Now, of course, it's not D, but I'm just messing with you. Okay? So you have those 2 pages to complete for combining like terms. Then I'm going to give you a little more practice on distributing. Okay? So you're going to get 2 pages here as well. One is a maze. Right? So you're going to start up here, distribute this. And then you're going to go whichever way the arrow goes. Okay? And then keep going from there and make your way through the maze. There's only one proper route through the maze. Okay? It's not this, by the way. You can't just go straight down. So there's going to be one proper route, although errors will get you to the answer as well. Just FYI. And I'll come on Monday and we'll take a peek at the proper route. Then this one here, you'll need a partner to play this one. Okay? So your partner and you will play this one as you go through. I didn't really read through this one, so it may work perfectly. So let's read through it. You need tic-tac-toe per pair of people. Each person chooses a symbol represent X or O's. Well, what's this one say? An X and O, a star, a heart, etc. So you can put whatever you want there. Players take turn choosing an expression, simplify. If they simplify it correctly, so your partner has to check it, they get the box. They put their symbol in the box. Make sure your answer is correct. Each player is trying to get 5 symbols in a row, like traditional tic-tac-toe. Okay? So I would say between you and your partner, one person goes first. They can do it. Then pick a box that you're going to go to. Both of you do it. And make sure you have the right answer. Okay? Then the other person goes. So let's say one person goes here. Right? 4x, 4 times x, 4x, 4 times 2, 8. 4x plus 8. Then next person goes. Let's say they call it this box. You both do it. And then you have to correct yourself against the other person. Now if you have different answers, you got to figure out who's correct. And let's make it fun that if you have different answers, the person who's correct gets that box. So if I'm trying to answer but I get it wrong, but my partner gets it right after you guys look at it, they get the box. And then you get another turn. So it's imperative, and imperative means very important, to get your answer right. Okay, and that is your work for today. Hopefully you have fun, and I'll see you on Monday.